What if I told you there's a facility in Alaska capable of manipulating the weather, triggering earthquakes, and even influencing your thoughts? And it may not be just a theory. It's real, it's funded, and it's still active. Welcome to the world of HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, where science and secrecy collide.
This is Cryptic Accounts. By paranoid people, for paranoid people. Cryptic Accounts.
Welcome to Cryptic Accounts, a podcast by paranoid people for paranoid people. I'm Patrick Ryan. Thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and hit the like, share, subscribe, do all that for us. It helps us out more than you know. If you've been listening to the show, you know we need help getting heard based on the things we talk about. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, write us a review. That helps us out a lot. Give us a 5-star rating. That helps us out more than anything in all the places, just the more people interacting with the show, and we appreciate it. So those of you who are here, please do that to help us out. That's all we ask of you. And let's go around to everybody. Start this off. I don't want to leave anybody out before we hop into this. I'm excited to hop into this, though.
I am too. I'm Dennis.
You're Dennis Cheney.
Welcome myself back to the show. I'm excited for this one as well.
And Sam?
I'm excited for this discussion of weather things.
Yeah. It's going to be very hard going through it. Yeah, it's
Smooth.
There's got to be careful about what we say. Like, that's a thing that's happening. And as always, making us look good, sound good, pushing all the buttons, making things happen magically. Mikey Kruger.
What's up, man? How y'all doing today?
I'm ready to get into this.
Yeah, I've been hearing about the HAARP for a long time.
Yes.
And I'm always like, yeah, it sounds like cool and kind of spooky, but mostly cool. So, but I don't know.
I feel like it came up on the Elf Waves episode that we did forever ago.
Probably.
Because it does ultra low frequency.
We have talked about it.
We've talked about it, but we've never dedicated to like, this is where it came from and this is what's going on with it and this is what they say about it. So no discussion of whether anything that may be happening technologically would be complete without mentioning HAARP. This facility in Alaska has been at the center of numerous conspiracy theories since its inception. So some of the acknowledged research conducted at HAARP that they say they're doing, like it's very well known. This is what they put it out there as the official purpose. So they study the effects of solar activity on the Earth's magnetic field. They investigate the Aurora Borealis, northern lights. They're developing potential improvements in satellite communication and researching potential applications in submarine communications. So all that sounds really good. Sounds helpful.
Yeah.
All good things, nothing bad. That's always the way this works.
the way it works.
If MK Ultra taught us anything, it's that
It's like a weirdly benevolent list of things.
Yeah.
Like that for the military to do.
Yep.
Now the submarine, like better communications. Okay, that makes sense. But like, this is a huge facility.
Well, you know who started it, right?
I know you're going to get into it.
Yeah,
I know that it is the military.
Yeah, it's the U.S. Air Force and the Navy in 1993 as a joint project that they did together. Is like, let's team up. Let's put a bunch of antennas.
I didn't realize it was a military thing.
Yes, it started as a military thing.
I just thought it was a bunch of researchers out there just independently, kind of like the space station, but for Alaska.
Kind of. That's what they tell you it is. But again, it's the Air Force and the Navy that started it. And then they do hand it over. So they handed over in 2015. So it's 33 acres of antenna fields that house 180 very large antennas. Like, it's not like one little spot. It's like a big area. Like, they have a control unit or whatever that's a building. But then they have all these antennas, like, on this humongous plot of land out in Alaska.
Is that like the area, my gosh, the alien place?
Area 51?
Yeah, that one.
Well, that's Nevada.
That's Nevada.
No, I know that, but I just mean like it's like blacked out in satellite imagery.
No, I think you can look it up. Like, you can see it. Like, they're very big. Like, they do tour. Like, we're going to get into what's going on with it now. Like, you can go there. It's not like Area 51 where, like, it's a restricted area. They were more restrictive with it when it was a military thing, but they teamed up with the University of Alaska. And in 2015, they full on gave it to the University of Alaska and relinquished control of it.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of research? What do they do? Do they just shoot radio waves into the ionosphere, or
No, they don't just shoot them into the ionosphere. We're going to get into that more. No, they shoot them into the ground. They shoot them across the globe. Like, they're any direction you could shoot some of this stuff. They're shooting it that direction.
I just kind of figured that we'd already like mastered radio waves.
Well, it's more complicated than that.
Okay.
So a little bit of backstory, and then we're going to get into all of that stuff. 2015, like I said, that's when that's when the U.S. Navy and Air Force handed over to the University of Alaska in Fairbanks. And this is claimed now to be, as you know it, primarily a research facility. So this transfer has made the site more accessible with public tours available. However, for many theorists, this change of management is seen as just another layer of cover-up and have long claimed that HAARP's true purpose is far, far more sinister. So Jerry E. Smith is an American author, lecturer, poet, and editor known for his work on theories like this, particularly those related to weather manipulation and government control. Born on April 8th, 1950 in Pomona, California, Smith did pass away in March of 2010, but he's most famous for, and what we're going to draw on a lot here, is a book called HAARP, The Ultimate Weapon of the Conspiracy. And he wrote this in 1990, or he published it in 1998. So he wrote this book, and it remains a cornerstone text for those who believe in HAARP-related conspiracies. In this book, Smith presents the high-frequency active auroral research program, HAARP, in Alaska as one of the most controversial projects ever undertaken by the U.S. government. So Jerry claims that HAARP had gained significant traction among theorists despite its official denials, and here's kind of why he thinks that. So Smith asserts that HAARP can manipulate weather patterns by heating the ionosphere. The U.S. Air Force has actually acknowledged that weather manipulation is a potential warfare tactic, so it's kind of interesting they were investing in this and set this up. Because there's so many theories around this that's part of what this thing can do is actually influence the weather. But they don't officially say that. So HAARP itself, there's a bunch of patents. And we're about to get into a bunch of patents that people think all these things they do about HAARP. Because there's a bunch of patents out that if you had that information and you had a place like HAARP and you put those two things together, you could do a lot of crazy stuff. So U.S. patent 4,686 and 605.
Jeez.
604 is a different type of razor. I thought you were going to say the wrong number.
Big patent guy?
Yeah, I'm a big patent.
He has them all memorized.
That's right.
It's like Rain Man, but for patents.
That would actually be really
That would be
cool.
really helpful.
What was the first patent? Can somebody with a computer while you're reading that Google that?
Google that, Sam.
Okay.
What is patent number 1? Anyway.
Whoa.
So this patent, quote, is a method and apparatus for altering a region in the Earth's atmosphere, ionosphere, or magnetosphere. So this patent, granted to Bernard Eastland in 1987, described a method for causing, quote, total disruption of communications over a very large portion of the Earth. This patent outlines a method to heat specific regions of the ionosphere using powerful electromagnetic waves. By altering atmospheric pressure and temperature, it could influence weather patterns. So it could do this by creating low pressure areas by heating at least 3 specific locations, potentially leading to a storm formation. It can alter atmospheric wind patterns, modify solar absorption patterns, and artificially increase concentrations of certain atmospheric molecules like ozone or nitrogen. So Bernard was a prominent physicist and inventor with significant contributions to plasma physics, and weather manipulation technology. He received his BS in physics from MIT and his PhD in physics from Columbia University. He also co-invented something called the fusion torch, which was a concept in 1968 and held 23 patents on its own, including several related to ionospheric heating and potential weather alterations. So I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole when
You can't just say fusion torch.
I read fusion torch and I'm like, go on, tell me more about your fusion torch. So the fusion torch, you like that, Sam?
Yeah. I mean, no, but
So the fusion torch is a concept for utilizing the high temperature plasma of a fusion reactor to break apart materials and convert them into reusable elements. So he invented this in 1968. Bernard Eastland and William C. Gow, the fusion torch aims to close the cycle from use to reuse. So that's what that is. It just can melt down stuff from like nuclear reactors and like separate the parts of that fusion.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use them separately. So you could reuse, like you could
That's an
reharvest
amazing
that.
invention.
Yes.
So I just want to point out one thing here outside of the weather issue. I actually kind of think the stated reason for that patent might be what HAARP is for.
Mm-hmm.
Because it said it's just to disrupt communications over a wide swath of territory. So, like, if you think about where HAARP's at, where is it at latitude, like laterally?
Well, you can point it towards Russia
the
and China.
Soviet Union.
Yep. Especially the Soviet Union. But you did cover you from China, too.
So if you had a giant thing, if radar has to like bounce off the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So if we got in a war with the Soviets and we had something in Alaska or Greenland, and then we could essentially shoot and heat up the atmosphere over Russia, and this was created during the Cold War, then you could just shut down their ability to have to radar if you were going to like invade them or launch a nuke against them. So like that to me makes the most sense so far as
for why the Air Force and Navy would
create
go all
this.
in on something like this. Not all in,
Yeah,
but
and why it's so huge and
Yeah.
why maybe they don't use it anymore since you know what I mean, since the Cold War. Okay,
well,
anyway.
nobody said they're not using it
I
anymore.
know.
Nobody said that. I'm not going to tell you
So
that.
far, that's just the most convincing thing.
No, that does make sense. So another patent, 5,038,664. Now, this is a, quote, method for producing a shell of relativistic particles at an altitude above the Earth's surface. So this patent, also by Eastland, outlines creating a shell of high-energy charged particles in the Earth's magnetosphere, which could potentially affect weather patterns by influencing upper atmospheric conditions and affect global patterns by altering energy distribution in the atmosphere. Patent 4,712,155, quote, method of an apparatus for creating an artificial electron cyclotron heating region of plasma. So this patent describes a technique for heating plasma in the ionosphere, which could be used to alter the weather or weather patterns. And they do this by modifying atmospheric conditions by creating localized heat. So potentially influencing weather patterns by altering atmospheric dynamics.
You know what else that sounds like it could do?
What?
Create like a Foo Fighter.
Mm.
Like, have you ever heard like the flashlight theory of UFOs?
Mm-mm.
So when you see a UFO, it goes like bing, 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 and does all this stuff that you could, like a plane couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the Foo Fighters, like a lot of times they describe them as like orbs
Mm-hmm.
or like, okay, well, what does that sound like? If you take a laser pointer and put it against a wall, you can go ping, 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 ping.
Yeah.
So like if you had like a beam that could heat up and create like a plasma ball,
Mm-hmm.
you could use it like a spotlight.
Oh.
And that's kind of like the plasma theory of UFOs is that it's like a man-made. Some of them are like man-made weapons. Because imagine you're like, again, you're at war with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of fighter planes. You could like swarm them with like these plasma balls that are like doing like impossible maneuvers. It's like it's only possible because you're essentially shining like a very weird, like a very strange flashlight at them.
Yeah, but instead it's like
It creates a physical, because plasma is a form of matter. It's a
Yes.
fourth form of matter. So like you would be creating a controllable ball of matter.
how would How would you do that though?
I don't know.
With these patents, I mean, by shooting stuff into the ionosphere to be able to do that, it's just pulling. It's
Controlling it would be the problem.
it's heating stuff that's in the atmosphere, that's then creating this.
Well, you could create one maybe, but controlling it would be something totally different.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the question. It's just a theory that we have, that maybe we have something like this. It's hard to create plasma to begin with.
Or aliens.
Yeah.
well, it could just
True.
be aliens.
I'm just trying to apply
Alien
these
guy.
to things I've heard, these patterns, you know what I mean? Alien.
So another patent, U.S. patent, 5,068,669. Quote, power beaming system is what it's called. This patent outlines a method for transmitting power over long distances using microwave beams, which some believe could be used to heat specific areas of the atmosphere and influence the weather that way. The patent suggests two approaches to altering the weather: manipulating steering winds that control storm development, heating air in specific patterns using electromagnetic wave radiation. So the existence of these patents, combined with the secrecy surrounding HAARP's operations, continue to fuel speculations about the facility's true purpose and capabilities. So the HAARP facility's extraordinary power generation capabilities provide compelling evidence for Jerry Smith's claim about its potential as a devastating weapon. So with a confirmed ability to generate 3.6 megawatts of power directly into the ionosphere, so it can shoot that much electricity up into the air when it combines them all together like that, this whole array. HAARP represents a technological marvel that could potentially be weaponized in ways far beyond its official scientific research mandate.
I wonder if that could be used as like a ICBM missile defense.
I would think so.
Because if you have a missile that has to re-enter the atmosphere,
Well-
and you like heat up the, you know what I mean? Like it has to go through a super hot layer, like hotter than normal. Like
I mean, we have that with DEWs. We just did an episode.
I
on
just
it.
wonder if this is like a spread EW.
Yeah, it seems like you could target it though too,
Yeah.
like because it's talking about. I mean, I don't know how big the areas are when it says it could like heat specific areas in the atmosphere, but that points to it's able to target and harness it in one direction at one point.
Yeah.
It's because all the satellites are not satellites. That whole array, everything, all the dishes tilt.
Yeah,
Like
wonder
the
if it's
antennas.
not
Sorry, that's
some kind of missile
antennas.
defense thing as well.
I could see that, and thinking about what they can do with like, because I mean the DEWs, the directed energy weapons, those are just light basically just being focused in an extreme way to create those lasers.
Right.
So it's
This would be heating up the. This would be the equivalent of instead of a what am I trying to say? Instead of a directed like pew,
yeah.
it'd be like a
But I think
shield.
you-
It'd be more like a shield, like a shield.
No, I think you can target it.
Okay, yes.
Like
but
you can't, like again, back to the specific areas of the episode, they're
Yeah.
able to point it. It's not getting this whole.
I guess what
vast
I'm saying though,
area.
it's still a shield because it's interacting with the ionosphere.
You could do it that way. You
Yeah.
can make it so that it's evenly dispersing and probably do something like that.
Okay,
Or you could use it to like shoot down specific ones, probably.
maybe. Yeah.
If you targeted it right. I don't know. That's very speculation. But yeah, based on all those patents, like, yeah, it seems like you could do some stuff. So the facility's unique characteristics make it a potential game-changing weapon system. With 180 high-frequency antennas spread across 33 acres, they're capable of focusing energy, here it is, with unprecedented precision. Like, they can target it. So the power output, it far exceeds most conventional electromagnetic weapons. It can transmit frequencies between 2.7 to 10 megahertz. Smith's theory about earthquake generation becomes more plausible when examining HAARP's capabilities. So, can create artificial plasma clouds with densities exceeding 9 to the times 10 to the fifth power in electrons per cubic centimeter, which is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Potential to generate localized ionosphere heating and its ability to interact with Earth's electromagnetic field at unprecedented scales kind of all into this could be, you could definitely use this in a not great way. I mean, I guess depending on how you're thinking about it. So the phased array antenna system allows HAARP to focus energy with extreme, like I said, extreme precision. It can also create concentrated electromagnetic beams, and it can alter and manipulate ionospheric conditions in targeted regions. So it can do really precise, or it can hit like whole areas. So while official sources deny these capabilities, the facility's design and power output suggest capabilities far beyond simple scientific research. The Air Force's original ownership and subsequent transfer to the University of Alaska Fairbanks only adds to the intrigue surrounding its true potential. So the most chilling aspect, the technology does exist. Its potential for targeted electromagnetic destruction is limited only by the imagination of those who control it.
Maybe I missed it. By the way, I think I have this book as a PDF.
That actually doesn't.
I have never read it though. Where did like earthquakes? Like where did that come in?
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah, remember I said earlier, like they can point it at the ground too.
Oh,
This stuff doesn't have to shoot up into the air.
Oh, I never thought of that.
They can tilt those. They can tilt and direct those antennas to shoot that in any direction they want.
Interesting.
So this is one that I think we've touched on. I don't know if it was the same episode, and I'm even scared to say the title. There's one about mass somethings that people do that you can go back and find.
Okay.
They pew pew. Yeah, that's the mass pew pews. That's what we'll call it. The mass pew pews. The people who do that. And we did an episode about that at one point, and mind control. So this is something that I had heard a little bit about, but I hadn't dug into it as much. There's a lot of claims that HAARP has that capability based on other things that we talked about, like ultra low frequency waves that make it sound like somebody's in your head.
Oh no.
So there's this claim suggesting that HAARP can actually manipulate human behavior by transmitting specific frequencies. And again, this aligns with patents held by HAARP's developers for technology capable of altering brain function. So some speculate the powerful signal could manipulate human behavior or even destroy brain cells, potentially as a form of mass mind control. So despite official denials and scientific explanation, these theories, they still persist. They're still out there. And it sounds crazy, until I remember that research, the elf waves and all that, where it's just like, oh no, there's patents for this too. And there's people who they've been trying to do this for a long time. And then you get weird things where people with no apparent real motive go out and do crazy things that hurt a bunch of people, and there's no explanation. And going all the way back to MK Ultra, when they were trying to figure out with Manchurian candidates, this is something that they definitely want to do, to be able to just make somebody do something and not realize why they did it or have any real motive, because then they're completely disconnected from what they did.
Mass mind control, though, is like,
yeah,
you probably would want to make people like docile,
yes,
I guess.
I would think you could do it to regions.
Or like sleepless. I don't know. Yeah.
Also that.
Yeah, I just probably not like murderous.
No, it'd be this. Well, I mean, unless you could target somebody very specifically, I guess, with that. But you would probably do that based on what we know about. You would probably just use one of those little elf
One of the
wave
little guns.
Yeah, one of the little guns that they talked about.
A little crazy person gun.
Man, I'm probably gonna dig some of that back up at some point.
Havana syndrome.
I'm just trying to make it so nobody ever sees this show anywhere. Honestly, like everybody, you gotta share it. Please share it. They're not letting us be seen very much.
Well, that's a really interesting point, because I've thought a lot about, you have these people that do these really out of character, terrible things, and people are like, they were fine. I don't know why, and then they come out and do these awful things, and then are either immediately killed by the authorities, or am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
They are.
Maybe bleep it.
This is a really hard episode to do, because I can't say most of the words I want to say.
Well, I'm realizing more and more why people that talk about this stuff tend to talk about it in weird ways, and you see them doing it.
Yeah.
words get changed, and it's like you get why, but you don't realize the gravity of why they're doing it. And now we've realized the gravity of why they're doing it.
I guess, okay. They, these really out of character events
Pew
where
pewers?
multiple people are unalived and nobody can explain why the person did that. I've always thought, because I've seen conspiracy stuff about specifically one involving a movie theater. That one is a really weird. That's something that we should probably talk about at some point. But anyways, that being said, I think that so far that's one that I could totally see being, and whether it's from HAARP or from something else, I do think it's happening.
There's a lot of something else's out there that seem like they could probably do that. Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like they have done that because there's a lot of like research behind it and patents, and it's just like, yeah, it kind of adds up together. And you don't want it to. You're not happy about it when you realize it. But yeah.
I mean, at the very least, they may be testing it. And that's not to say that these people that do commit these terrible crimes aren't just simply psychologically
Oh, some
ill.
of them are definitely.
Because that's pretty easy to like go back and look at their history and see a pattern of,
Yeah.
you know, but it's just the ones that just seem to come out of nowhere. That's really strange. Or that, you know, they have some kind of connection to some body.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, we saw it in MK Ultra and all the others were all the people that ended up we found out later were involved in it unwittingly usually. But some believe that HAARP can actually, like I said, manipulate behavior and destroy brain cells through its powerful radio transmissions. And this is according to nature.com. I didn't get that from anywhere weird. Nature.com was talking about that at one point.
nature.com.
Isn't that just the website of the journal Nature?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
What?
Yes. The Nature Journal, the magazine.
I think it's like the oldest scientific paper.
It's an old one.
Oh,
Yeah, they've talked about this.
okay.
So, also, the former governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura, has also made claims about HAARP and mind control. So, these theories often suggest that HAARP's high-frequency radio waves can influence brain activity and alter people's thoughts and emotions. Now, there's Dr. Nick Begich. Now, he's the man who exposed HAARP's mind control capabilities. Dr. Nick has been at the forefront of revealing the terrifying truth about HAARP's mind control technology. His groundbreaking work, particularly the book Angels Don't Play the HAARP with 2 A's, provides compelling evidence that the facility is far more than a simple research station. His research suggests that HAARP can generate electromagnetic waves capable of directly manipulating human brain frequencies. They can create targeted psychological states through precise radio wave modulation, induce artificial emotional and mental conditions in large populations, and particularly trigger mass behavioral manipulations. The most disturbing revelations include the frequency manipulation capabilities. So HAARP can generate extremely low frequency ELF signals or ELF waves that directly interact with human neurological systems. Now, we've already talked. Oh, that's the name of the episode. It's I was like, I know I have that written down somewhere. It's called, so the episode, if you want to go back where we delved into all this real deep, it's ELF waves, mind control, and mass somethings. You'll find it in the list. But here's a brief summary of what we found there. So Alan H. Fry's research into microwave hearing and its effect on biological systems revealed the true potential of electromagnetic manipulation. His work, funded by the U.S. military, exposed the hidden dangers of microwave radiation and its ability to influence human behavior and physiology. So some key findings from his research: microwave hearing. Now, this is something where humans and animals can hear microwave radiation directly in their brain, bypassing normal auditory pathways. behavior manipulation. So rats became docile when exposed to low-level microwave radiation, 50 microwatts per centimeter squared. That would make rats just chill out.
Were they not chill before?
No, they were not. They were pretty hype rats.
Okay. I've had pet rats, and they can be very chill. Just
They can be, or they can be very hyper too. Like,
yeah.
so physiological control. Frey could alter heart rates and even stop frog hearts using precisely timed microwave pulses. He could also breach the blood-brain barrier. Now, microwaves cause leakage in the blood-brain barrier, allowing toxins to enter the brain. Could also transmit voices. Sharp and Grove's experiment at Walter Reed Army Institute demonstrated the ability to transmit recognizable words via voice-modulated microwaves. And we also covered Dr. W. Voldrat's article that further exposed the potential for mass manipulation using ELF waves. ELF waves can resonate with brain cells, mimicking natural nervous system frequencies. This could induce artificial sensations, emotions, and physical states. Potential for a psychotronic warfare, there is potential for that, to incapacitate enemies without traditional weapons. Possibility of long-term subjugation of entire populations through ELF-modulated microwave transmission.
That's terrifying.
God.
Yep.
You wouldn't even know. Like, how would you even know? I guess if you owned like a Faraday cage or something.
Yeah, yeah. That's basically what you would have to do to not get hit by it.
That's terrifying.
Now, if you think all that sounds crazy, I got some more patents for you. So U.S. patent 3,951,134 from 1976. This is an apparatus and method for remotely monitoring and altering brainwaves.
Quick question.
Yes.
Would any of this stuff, like, I know we're talking about the potentially being used for nefarious reasons, but could any of this actually help people?
I mean, sure.
Like,
if
if
you
they're
wanted
if you're manipulating emotions, could it help with like depression, or like if it can help with controlling your heart rate? Like,
what
could
about
it help
the pharmaceutical industry though? What about them, Sam?
I was just trying
You want them to be without jobs?
So maybe they're creating the depression to fund the pharmaceutical companies.
No, they only do good stuff, so it can't be that.
I didn't say they only do good stuff. I said
No, I
could
said
the
that.
potential be?
Oh yeah, they could potentially do that because they can alter. So if you could make emotions negative, you could definitely make them positive too. But that
Yeah.
doesn't seem
They
to be
chill
what
the rats
happens
out.
over.
I was just talking about that with you guys of like trying to figure out world peace, as I do, and I was like, well, what if we just dose everyone in the entire world? Like, there's problems with that.
You did.
But this actually, can you imagine? Yeah, using some sort of technology like this to just make everyone chill out?
Microwave everybody's brains to make them happy.
I'll be their first subject. Just kidding.
Yeah, there's some.
There's
I mean,
probably a study you can join.
I haven't
No,
thought out
no,
the
I'm
idea, but
good.
there's something there. I don't.
So in other patterns, in 1989, there was U.S. patent 4,877,027. Now, this is a hearing system for microwave auditory effect. In 2000, patent 6,017,302 was a subliminal acoustic manipulation of nervous systems. And in 2003, 6,506,148 nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields for monitors.
Oh no.
I have another question. Sorry. With patents, does that mean is it something that's fully
It's like a concept.
It's conceptual.
okay? So I could
But you could
theoretically get my own patent and just make up some crazy thing.
You
like,
could, but you can go. I mean, you can look these. Part of why I'm giving out the numbers is you could go look them up, and it explains how it does it. It's not just I have an idea. I'm just pulling their like tagline from them on these.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just mean like apparatus and method for remotely monitoring and altering brain waves, or the hearing system for microwave auditory effects. Like, who whose patent is that, for example, and is it somebody interested in helping deaf people?
Maybe. It could be.
I'm just saying, like, maybe not all the time, like, these patents sound like they could be bad, but maybe some of them aren't meant to be.
Oh, I mean, that's a fair amount of inventions, honestly.
True.
Is they started out as like something good that's going to help people, and then the military is like, so what if that was a weapon?
That's like the
What if we unalive people with that?
every hero movie ever made.
Yes, pretty much. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's where that idea is probably coming from. Is stuff like that. You're right. These could all have been good-hearted, well-intentioned patents that, but also have a flip side to them that could be very negative.
It's like AI.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. So all these patents combined with Frey's research and Volkrott's analysis paint a disturbing picture of potential for electromagnetic mind control and manipulation. But back to Begich, though. We took that whole little turn off there on elf waves. Some things he was talking about in his revelations, population scale psychological warfare. So he argues that HAARP represents the ultimate psychological warfare technology, allowing unprecedented control over human consciousness through electromagnetic manipulation. So acknowledgments from the government as we talk about all this. Multiple government documents suggest research into the electromagnetic mind control technologies, lending credibility to Begich's claims about HAARP's capabilities. Disclosures of things like MK Ultra, Project Artichoke, and Operation Midnight Climax all kind of come to mind of ways they've tried to figure out how to control people's minds.
They couldn't come up with a better name than that.
Wasn't that literally the one with the brothel?
That was the brothel one where they were dosing people.
Yeah.
Oh, Midnight. Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
You remember that from the MK Ultra episode?
I don't remember you saying or Operation Midnight
Oh, we talked
Climax.
about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had a good laugh.
Yeah, that was a light point in that episode.
Good God.
So while mainstream scientists continue to deny these capabilities, the persistent and growing body of evidence suggests that HAARP represents a technological Pandora's box of psychological manipulation. As Begich himself has stated, quote, "The technology exists to influence directly the vast majority of the Earth's population by broadcasting global electromagnetic wave frequencies." The question remains, though, are we witnessing the ultimate tool of psychological control hidden in plain sight? Another thing HAARP can do, HAARP's technology bears similarities to long-range radar systems, which is probably back to what was likely the original, probably intended purpose on the military side. Now, this potentially allowed them to be able to detect objects over beyond the horizon, really far out. So this could definitely be used for like military surveillance and tracking from like a great distance. It can also, and back to what we were talking about earlier, what we kind of touched on, what you were all getting to touch on with the earthquakes and stuff. HAARP's powerful transmissions could potentially be used to map underground structures or resources, and a patent actually exists for using modulated electron heating to perform geological mapping. The patent related to this is U.S. Patent 5,777,476, titled Ground Global Tomography, CJT. Using modulation of high-frequency fields, this patent outlines a method for using modulated high-frequency electromagnetic fields to probe underground structures and resources. Which they're actually like this is a technology that's actually moved forward and we use to like map underground stuff. Well, you could they use it to like look for like resources like minerals and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Like where's rocks at? Like where's thick rock at? Stuff like that.
Where the rock at?
Sounds very caveman. Where thick rock?
I need door.
Key features of the patent, modulated high-frequency fields. So the patent describes how high-frequency signals can be modulated at frequencies between 0.001 hertz and 50 kilohertz. These modulated signals interact with the ionosphere, generating plane wave characteristics ideal for underground probing. By strategically placing a few high-frequency transmitters, the technology claims to provide worldwide coverage for geological exploration. This means that multiple sites could be monitored simultaneously, allowing for extensive geological mapping. So the patent details how low-frequency signals generated by the interaction of high-frequency waves with ionospheric currents can penetrate into the Earth's conducting ground. The penetration allows for assessment of various geological features and resources beneath the surface. The system involves measuring electric and magnetic fields over the surveyed area using conventional sensors. These measurements can provide insights into subsurface structures based on variations in conductivity and resistivity. So you think your enemy has a bunker somewhere or an underground base.
You just map it out.
You can map it out with this. So the patent includes various figures illustrating concepts such as skin depth as a function of frequency, phase behavior with depth, and variations in horizontal electric fields across different materials. And I don't even know all the things you could do with that, honestly.
Yeah.
So the patent explicitly, and here's the kicker, this patent that I just described explicitly mentions that the HAARP facility in Gakona, Alaska, has a transmitter capable of being utilized in accordance with this invention. This connection to HAARP adds an intriguing layer to its potential application beyond ionospheric research. So they wrote all this, so like, we could do this in the ground. Also, y'all got some antennas that would be really great for this. Like, can we hold on to those for a little bit? Can we borrow those for a bit? Like, so let me take it for a spin. Let me see how it works. I want to point it at the ground. Nothing bad's going to happen. So if true, the capabilities outlined in this patent suggest that HAARP could be used not just only for scientific research, but also for practical applications, like I said, mapping mineral deposits or natural resources, identifying underground facilities or structures, and conducting environmental assessments. And while mainstream scientists maintain that HAARP's primary focus is on ionospheric research and understanding radio wave propagation, the existence of this patent raises questions about potential dual-use technologies and their implications for both civilization and military applications. So theories surrounding HAARP continue to thrive. This patent serves as a focal point for discussions about the facility's true capabilities and intentions. Now let's go across the ocean a little bit. Jerry E. Smith links HAARP to the Soviet era Duga radar system, known as the Russian woodpecker. Everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I knew you guys better than
I'm
that.
still stuck on the rock thing.
Yeah, you still thinking about them rocks?
Oh, just the way you said it.
So we find Big Rock good.
Big rock good.
More Big Rock better. Good.
It's like, where's rocks?
Find big rock fast.
Oh my God. That just got me for some reason.
It's like turkey bits.
Oh,
I still
remember
think about that whenever I need to laugh. Now I can just think of, that's yours. That's your turkey bits.
Yep. I forgot about that.
I have never. I will
we've talked about turkey bits since then. It's come up. Oh, what episode was that?
The Boeing. Yeah.
That was Boeing. That was Boeing. That's right.
That's a good one.
So the Russian woodpecker. So both systems, HAARP and the Duga radar, which I'm just going to call a Russian woodpecker because it's fun to say, they both use powerful radio transmissions, and the woodpecker was so powerful that it interfered with communications worldwide.
Ooh.
So the Russian woodpecker, officially known as the Duga radar system, was a massive over-the-horizon radar installation built by the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Located near Chernobyl in Ukraine, this colossal structure has been the subject of numerous theories since its mysterious signal was first detected worldwide, everywhere, in 1976. So while officially designed for missile detection as part of the Soviets' early warning network, many believe its true purpose was far more sinister. So the Russian woodpecker was called this due to the distinctive tapping sound it produced, which caused significant interference across a wide range of frequencies. So it just like messed with radio signals in general. You just hear this weird tapping.
I think I've watched something about that.
Yeah, it's been talked about a lot. And I'm sure there's been documentaries and stuff.
I almost does it have anything to do with like the Chernobyl disaster?
Well, not directly. There's some theories.
It would be interesting if we messed up Chernobyl to like make their
Whoa.
radar base unusable.
Or maybe you got rid of Chernobyl because you wanted to hide this radar base. And so you made it so nobody can go in there.
yeah.
Because
People still go in there.
well, but you didn't when Chernobyl first happened.
It's true. Do you know people go in there for like tours?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Do they wear like suits and stuff?
No, but they have like the what is it called?
Geiger counter?
Yeah. There's like a dude proposed to his girlfriend there.
Oh, that's super
Like
romantic.
that is the most.
Let's die together a little quicker.
Radioactive.
I just can't think of. It's like going to the. I can't say stuff.
It's got to
'Cause I
find
don't-
fun ways to say it.
It's like going to the New York spot of disaster, the New York disaster area spot with the.
Oh, yeah.
Cats. Steven Sloan.
What happened with the cats?
With the twins that fell down.
Yeah, the twins that fell down. It's like going there, taking your girlfriend there to propose. It's like,
That is a little
It's
weird.
For sure happened. Do you know it has?
Never forget.
The Anne
oh my
Frank house.
god, that's one way to do it, I guess. It just doesn't. It seems disrespectful. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I know I can't argue with you there.
There's just something ick about that.
That is weird.
Anyway,
So with the Russian woodpecker, theories suggest that the radar system could control weather patterns, much like HAARP, because it's a very similar thing. Like it's kind of very, very similar as far as like how it's set up and like what it's can do based on being able to shoot out frequencies. So all that aligns with broader theories. So, and I touched on it a little bit, but okay. So the Chernobyl cover-up theory, which is artist Fyodor Alexandrovich proposed, he's an artist, that the Chernobyl disaster was intentionally caused to conceal the woodpecker's failure or to hide its true purpose. Oh, so some believe that the Northern Lights prevented the radar from actually penetrating North America, though. I think it kind of messed everything up because of what it does, and this led it's to this. So this kind of led to its failure and sparked theories about natural defense against such technology. Like that just kind of shielded us from what they were trying to do with the thing we were trying to do. Well, I mean, HAARP wasn't around yet, so they were doing
Right.
it first. So the documentary, which maybe this is what you saw, there is a document. It's literally just called The Russian Woodpecker. And it argues that the phantom of Soviet authoritarian rule still exerts influence through such hidden technologies. So the secrecy surrounding this has kind of fueled these theories. The Soviet Union initially denied its existence and its immense power, with a transmission power estimated to be up to 10 megawatts, which led to speculations about its capabilities. So it ceased operations in 1989, coinciding with the end of the Cold War. However, so it sent out that signal that jammed everybody. Everybody heard the tapping. They shut it down. Nobody heard it again. Then, in 2015, the signal reportedly returned from somewhere in Russia, reigniting suspicions about its true purpose and ongoing covert operations.
like this, you think it's the same
Fascinating.
structure, or like they've made it? Not
Well, it did the same thing.
Well, you know that Chernobyl is in Ukraine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be Russia if they restarted.
Well, yeah, they probably wouldn't have had control over it, so it makes you wonder what
maybe
could
they
be going.
built something new.
That, or I mean, just the new government that's there did something with it.
Yeah.
Went in there and maybe turned it on. Maybe that's why it blipped in
We're like, Let's see
2010.
what this thing does.
Let's see what this is. Oh, everybody heard that. Don't do that again.
really dangerous playground.
Yeah. So today, the massive antenna array still stands in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a silent reminder of Cold War tensions and technological ambitions. Its legacy continues to capture public imagination, inspiring documentaries and fueling ongoing speculation about its true purpose and capabilities, especially in relation when you think about modern-day facilities like HAARP. So while mainstream scientists dismiss these claims, the secrecy surrounding HAARP and its military connections continues to fuel speculation about its true capabilities and purpose. So when you talk about, I touched on transmitting power through the air, which sounds crazy until you think about another guy who Smith draws some parallels between HAARP and Nikola Tesla's work on wireless energy transmission and, weather changing stuff.
The death ray.
Yes. So the connection between HAARP and Nikola Tesla is a cornerstone of many theories surrounding weather manipulation and mind control. So Tesla, if you don't know, visionary, inventor, scientist, proposed groundbreaking ideas that some believe have been co-opted into modern technologies like HAARP. Because, all his notes disappeared when he died. The government came and got him.
Yes.
All of them. And we know that. Everything he was working on.
Trump.
Huh?
Professor Trump.
Yep. It sure was. So Tesla, so the connection here, like I said, wireless energy transmission. So Tesla famously envisioned a system for transmitting electrical energy without wires, which he demonstrated through various experiments. It wasn't just theories, like he did it. It was on a smaller scale, but he showed this could theoretically be done. So people argue that HAARP utilizes similar principles to manipulate the ionosphere, allowing for transmission of energy that could influence weather patterns. By sending powerful radio waves into the ionosphere, HAARP could theoretically alter atmospheric conditions, and just by moving power around like this, like Tesla was doing, but on a much larger scale. So Tesla developed oscillator capabilities of generating powerful vibrations, and some theorists link this concept to the idea that HAARP can manipulate the Earth's natural resonant frequencies. By tuning into these frequencies, HAARP could potentially affect weather systems on a large scale, creating conditions conducive to hurricanes or droughts. And then, as you mentioned, Dennis, the one of the more famous ones of Tesla, the death ray. In his later years, Tesla claimed to have invented a particle beam weapon known as teleforce, or the death ray. This technology was purportedly capable of destroying targets at great distances. Theorists speculate that HAARP's powerful transmissions could serve as a similar purpose, allowing for targeted weather manipulation or even seismic activities like earthquakes. By just messing with the frequency of things are vibrating at.
That's crazy. I want to learn more about vibrations someday.
It's frequency.
I know. Everybody's always talking about crystals and the earth.
Yeah.
Everything's vibrating. I'm vibrating. Atoms vibrate.
Yep.
I want to learn what's the significance of vibrations.
Oh, that's gonna be a weird rabbit hole. There's a lot of different directions.
I know.
There's a very sciencey version, and there's a very
I just mean from a scientific perspective,
like mystic thinking on it.
I'm sure it melds at some point.
When you look back a few hundred years, that's how a lot. Alchemy and all that. Like this, it was all melded together at one point.
Just that one about changing the Earth's vibration that freaks me out. I don't know.
Yeah, on a large scale, that one's weird to think of. We should not be toying with that. Don't do that. We all live here. Don't stop it. So Tesla's unfinished Wardenclyffe Tower project was intended for intercontinental wireless communication and power transmission, which we've got the first one. We do it in different ways. We're not doing it through frequencies like that, but that's how we get it to the places that transmit it.
Satellites, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
To towers, then to satellites.
Yeah.
Or in things like Starlink, I guess, directly to satellites.
That's true.
Yeah. So some believe that this tower was secretly designed to manipulate weather patterns as well. The idea is that if Tesla had completed this vision, it would have laid groundwork, again, for technologies like HAARP. So if you had all his notes, you'd have a good place to start. And you'd have had a lot of time to work on it.
I just don't. I just hate, man. I'm going to say it for the 10th time on this podcast. Why is it like every other year scientists create something that could end the world? End the world. Yes. Why do we always do stuff like this? Stop messing with it.
For science, Dennis.
I know.
It's for science.
Just let the weather like be the weather.
Let the weather weather.
Let the weather weather. Like I know it stinks sometimes. I know we'd be having bad weather times. Nobody loves a hurricane or a drought, but like it's the we only have one planet. You can't be like, well, we messed up the weather on this one. Let's go over to the other Earth.
Well,
like,
that's, I mean, Elon's
you
right.
kind of just have to deal with the fact that sometimes weather sucks.
Not
like,
if Elon Musk has his way.
I know, I hate it.
He's going to get us to another planet, and then we can really mess this
I don't
place
hate
up.
the idea of terraforming Mars, but it's just like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like messing with stuff that's like.
Would you go to Mars?
Just leave it. I'm very scared of heights.
That's your whole back.
And Mars is technically very high. If this is
or low, I guess, depending on how you think about it.
Or neither. It could be right next to you.
That's true too.
That being said, the older I get, the more I feel like I would do something like that.
I've thought about it. I'm like, because I mean,
I'd be very scared.
You got to think about you're not going to be able to come back.
Yeah,
at least not for a long time. Like if
the
you're
first people will not come.
That's what they've talked about. Like the first people that will go, like you're going there.
Yeah.
Like you better really want to do this, and it's just that's the way it is if you go do it. But yeah, have you heard about that? Where they're talking about like they would potentially need colonizers at some point to go like help do all this and get it going.
I ain't signing up.
I might.
Really?
I think it'd be kind of cool.
We're gonna have to do the podcast over Zoom from Mars.
We'll have Starlinks. It'll be fine.
You'll be like, "Welcome to Cryptic Accounts." Hey, Pat. What's up?
There might be a lot of pauses.
You're like, hold on, the Gorlak is acting up.
He comes back on video and he's like, from
Doom.
like Total Recall.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's like, oh.
He's got like a head. And
Well, yeah, I'm going for the second head in the chest, obviously.
It's like, Patrick, close your window.
Would you go do it, Sam?
Oh, hell no.
No?
No.
There's too much here.
I
Earth rules still. It's just if Earth goes bad, then
Oh yeah.
Then you're hopping on the rocket.
I mean, not unless I could take my family with me. I'd rather die here with them than leave them behind.
True.
yeah, Mama's got to go to Mars.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, kids.
Yeah.
Mom's out.
What?
I'm an Earth boy.
Earth boy.
I'm 98% water or whatever. I was made on Earth.
That's fair.
I would be more. I don't know that any. What am I trying to say? I bet they're like growing their own people to.
Honestly,
so weird.
I kind of think that
So like
too,
they
though.
have like a human farm that's like these are going to be our colonizers.
I used to not believe that, but I believe that
just
now.
because like then they wouldn't be like poisoned with humanity that we're used to. Like leaving the earth would be totally normal for them.
Here's a weird idea. Tesla's the one, or Elon's the one building these humanoid robots. Why didn't he set a bunch of those up first and like make it nice?
Maybe. Oh yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
I like that idea.
All right.
That's got to be in talks.
That's got to be part of it, right?
They would just end up falling in love with each other and then.
Getting his DMs.
Create
and-
little robot
Like, I
family.
got an idea for you, man.
Yeah, send your robots
And then
on
there's
your
that
rocket
bust,
ships.
Yeah.
that guy. He's their like captain on their spaceship.
Oh yeah, the 57-year-old accountant.
Yeah.
From
And the other one's like
yeah.
looks like
Oh
a.
man.
The
Yeah,
Swedish.
sex
the
doll.
companion robot. I don't remember
A lot
the
of
company.
callbacks this episode.
That's true.
I like it.
Oh man, I saw, and I mean, I wish I'd have had it and stumbled on this when we were doing the AI stuff. But did you see? There's a company. I'm blanking on the name of it. I wish I had it up right now. But is like marketing like these like AI, like they're not AI robots because they are saying they can take your consciousness and like basically download you, and then you could put it into one of these synthetic bodies, and then you could body hop.
Mm-hmm.
But would it still be you?
I know.
I mean, it's your consciousness.
It logically
But
can't
like
be you.
that's not you. That's your
I agree.
like. If my consciousness was put into a robot and then I died, I think I just die.
God, we're so close
And
to
then-
immortality,
And
you
then the
guys.
other
we're gonna be
me
right
is
before
just
it.
a new me,
think
but
about
it's
that a lot.
not me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. Here's what I would say. Don't even think about you dying. Could you do this and you live at the same time as the robot?
I mean, you'd
Why
be
not? Does the process destroy your brain in some way, or does it just copy information and put it into the robot?
the way they make it sound is you would kind of be getting transferred.
See, I don't
Like
think
they're saying it's
that's
your
not
it's your
possible.
actual consciousness. So I don't know what.
I bet it maps out your brain. It creates some kind of like quantum copy, puts it in a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if I can exist and I can like look at my copy and talk to my copy, then what Sam's saying, like when I die, I'm not going to hop into that. I'm right here with it right now. I'm not experiencing what it's experiencing.
Well, it sounds like you basically. Again, I'll have to like cover it in more in depth. Like it's like,
I think it's impossible.
but there's companies that are saying they can do this now.
It's a
Like,
part
there's a
of the
bit-
it
trick.
could be a perfect copy
It'll think
of
you're
me.
you.
And I mean, this is a good example of like the robot episode where we were like, it's the lack of having a soul. Does it
yeah.
actually feel emotion? Like it would be a perfect copy of me and it will react the way that I normally would, but I'm not in it. Like I'm not there, not me.
Yeah, like what's the thing they're taking out of you?
It has all your memories, everything. Like they're saying they can get, like they can download everything.
That's just
basically.
information. Like if you told me you're going to take my brain out of my head and put it in a robot, that's different, in my opinion. I might think that would work.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That's trippy to think about.
Just information, though.
I mean, I'm sure we'll do another. Like it'll definitely make it in the next because all that stuff just continues to develop. So it'll definitely.
There was a guy that tried that though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know where this company's at, but like there's video floating around of like somebody at a convention with like a body cam walking around talking to these people, and they have these things, these AI, like not AI, I keep calling them AI, these like synthetic bodies, and they're like explaining all this to them. Like we can do this. You could change bodies. You could look like whatever you want. We can age you however you want. Like,
Gosh,
and if you wear that one out, we can then transfer it again, the whole thing, all your new memories, everything into a new thing.
I told you guys about that Bruce Willis movie, right?
Yes.
Surrogate.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should watch it. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah, your favorite topic. Dennis.
You're gonna hate
I would
it,
send that copy to Mars. Like, all right, you can go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go check it out. Go live my Mars life for it.
Just
Go
make a
live your
bunch of,
best Mars
like-
life for me. My best Mars
I
life.
think it feels like
Our.
rude to yourself
Our
to make
best
a
Mars
copy of
life.
yourself.
There we go.
People want to like clone themselves to use that clone's organs and stuff. Like that
Yep.
is not
Yeah.
cool,
There's a
man.
movie
I'd be
about
more
that
cool
too.
with
It's
that
called
than
The
putting my
Island.
brain in
But
it.
like, if I
Is
clone
that
myself, I wouldn't want to
interesting?
give myself organs. I'd be like, no, I don't even know you. Like,
Could you just clone me from like the neck down so I can
Yeah,
just take my
maybe.
heart?
maybe.
I don't know.
Have you ever heard about that movie?
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to do that
Yeah,
too.
I'm okay with that. I don't see a problem with that.
Interesting.
Just building a heart.
Yeah. They're talking.
I think where it gets messed up is you start making it think.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it comes out a human being.
I hate that.
Like they're talking about that too.
I don't like that.
Where it's not you, it's just they're growing, they're
I thought
synthetically
they were just
growing
growing the
human body.
organs on their own.
No.
Oh well, no,
They're-
absolutely, 100%.
And it's like, are
against.
they murdering people?
This is the
Bleep
type
that.
of stuff that would make me, if there was massive factories creating people,
Mm-hmm.
it would make me become a T word. Like, it would make me put on the turban and go do T word
First
things.
thought was
like,
turtle.
I thought Terminator.
like that
Me
to
too.
me is such a huge affront to humanity. It's like beyond the pale. Like,
yeah.
to be manufacturing human beings, like we would have to violently rise up.
Well, I might put together some research because you might want to start doing whatever you got to do to get ready to do that.
I think we're far away from that. So far, we've mastered the finger apparently, and the smiley goo.
The smiley goo.
Like,
I don't care about artificial people or creating specific organs.
they're
but like,
growing skin.
if you're
Well,
growing
it's like
people, ugh.
it's synthetic. It's not. They're not doing it from like human cells. They're making that like through like chemical composition. It's not like they took somebody's DNA and then created.
Oh, like literally cloning.
Yes, that's what they're talking
Oh.
about doing. Is that? But it's synthetic. It's not synthetic. It's it's not going through a human body to be created. It's like a test tube baby, basically.
So in the future, they won't be called clones; they'll be called synthetic humans.
Probably.
Oh no.
That's probably what
You
we'll call it.
synthoid.
Yep.
Yeah,
Would be
exactly.
racist against
Yep.
sense.
So
Sorry.
So to wrap it all up, mainstream science dismisses the theories on HAARP as unfounded, but the enduring fascination with Tesla's work and its connection to HAARP continue to inspire speculation about mind control and weather manipulation. The belief in these theories highlights a broader distrust of the government's intentions and technological advancements, suggesting that the legacy of Nikola Tesla may still hold relevance in contemporary discussions about power and control over nature. So that's it. That wraps up the third parter.
Great job.
Thank you. Please share it because they're not going to let anybody see it unless you guys are putting it out there and liking it and just getting it bumped that way. So yeah. Fun times.
I noticed that you have 80 tabs open on your computer. I just want to say,
Did we ever figure out what the first patent was?
Oh yeah, that
I've been
was,
holding on to that. I've been holding
this
on
is
to
our
that.
big finale. Yeah, what was the
That's
first patent?
It was like a traction wheel for a train.
Sick.
Really? Oh wow.
It's like an off-road
Well, apparently
train.
there's also like an X series of patents where it starts with an X and then it's a number, which are different somehow.
Does it have years
The
on
first
either one of them?
United States patent, a wheel. That's an appropriate first patent.
Should be
It
Not
has to be
for a country
fire
that's
or a
only
wheel.
like a couple hundred years old.
I gotta look at it.
The wheel definitely existed.
Oh, wheel.
But nobody owned that
A
technology
specific
on
kind of
paper.
wheel. Yeah.
The first guy was like,
Dude, I'm gonna be rich.
we got this patent system.
Would it be
Nobody's
weird
ever
if the
thought of
first
this
patent was
before.
like a gun,
It's weird. It isn't just something like super common that already existed that
like a
somebody was just
paperclip or
like,
something?
this is how we're doing it. Capitalism. I now own all the rights to the wheel.
Yeah.
Somebody had to.
Okay,
have
wait,
been
that was
first.
in the. I think that was in the U.S. Hold on. Let
Yeah, I
me-
think like horseshoes and like so many things that like if you own
You're just
it,
like outside the patent office, like.
I have so many.
I thought of the stove. I thought of the wagon. I thought of the gun. I thought of the shovel.
I have one of those.
Arrows.
though.
Arrows. I thought of arrows.
This is all my thing, though. You guys have all been using my
Oh, okay.
proprietary technology.
Buckets.
houses.
My dad invented buckets.
You gotta do crazy patent guy as a character. That's such a good. That's a good bit.
Can I
Good
take that?
bit.
Can I have that? Okay.
Good bit. Yeah.
Okay,
that's all
so
you.
All right.
the first recorded patent was actually in 1421
Drum roll.
in Florence.
Okay.
It was for it gave him a 3-year monopoly on the manufacture of a barge with hosting gear used to transport marble.
Interesting.
Boat. Okay,
So
that's a good fact.
Yeah. So I was
A
like,
marble boat.
first
a marble
patent.
transport boat.
it's okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
There you go, folks.
There it is.
So there's like a caveman out there. It's like, no, I had first patent. Where's Rock?
You would think.
Rock.
Where Rock?
I guess it makes sense that it would have to be like the Middle Ages, because like the late Middle Ages, early Renaissance, because like nobody really owned anything.
Yeah.
But prior to that, like you couldn't really own an idea, right?
Yeah, it finally happened.
It finally happened.
It's been going great.
The marble boat.
The marble boat.
It's all downhill from there.
It was.
Band name.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Hit like, share,
I
subscribe.
thought of the podcast. I invented podcasts. Sorry. Go ahead and round this out.
But yeah, thank you all so much for listening. Like, share, subscribe, do all that to help us out. If you really want to help us out, like with monies, head over to the Patreon, subscribe there. You can do a one-time donation, just put it in and then cancel it. That makes it so you can do that through Patreon. We still get it. We'd appreciate it. That'd be awesome. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching.
We love you.
Bye-bye.
I love you guys.
Cryptic Accounts is a fan-funded show brought to you by you. Please visit crypticaccounts.com to find out how you can help support the show. Your hosts are Patrick Ryan, Dennis Cheney, and Sam Roach. The show is produced by, and the theme music is written by, Michael Kruger at Birdseye Music. We thank you for listening, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next week. Stay paranoid.